Assalamualaikum to Madam Salina. I'm Siti Aisha and this is my team members.
I'm Aisha Sofia.
I am Farzana Zafira.
And I am Muhammad Faiz Shakir.
I'm Husna Najia.
And we are from group
SCUBAA!
Today we will discuss about financial struggles among students.
So, to start off with our report, I would like to present the background of study on financial struggles among students. Financial challenges have become a growing concern among university students due to rising tuition fees, accommodation costs, and daily living expenses. These financial burdens are especially difficult for students from low-income families and making it challenging to balance their academic responsibilities with their financial needs. In Malaysia, many students rely on PTPTN loans, scholarships, family support, part-time jobs, and zakat to finance their education. However, rising living costs, inflation, unequal financial aid, and low financial literacy continue to increase financial pressure. According to AKPK, many Malaysians struggle to cope with unexpected expenses, and 20% of working adults experience serious financial stress. This shows that financial stress is a significant issue that affects mental well-being, work performance, and overall quality of life. Therefore, it is important to understand the factors contributing to financial struggles among university students so that effective support and financial management strategies can be developed to improve their well-being and academic success. So, this slide explains the background of financial struggles among university students. University life gives students many opportunities to learn and become independent. However, many students also face some financial challenges because it is their first time managing their own expenses, including their tuition fees, transportation, accommodation, and daily living costs. Students from low-income families are more likely to experience financial stress. According to previous studies, student loans, rising living costs, and limited financial support have made it difficult for many students to meet their basic needs. Some students even have to work part-time, borrow money, or skip meals in order to continue their studies. In addition, many students have limited financial knowledge and often struggle to differentiate between essential needs and wants. This can lead to overspending, debt, and poor financial management. So overall, financial struggles can negatively affect students' academic performance, mental health, and quality of life. Therefore, it is important to understand the factors that contributing to these financial challenges so that appropriate support can be provided to improve students' well-being and academic success. Next, we will talk about financial management behavior and financial pressure among university students. So, the rising cost of living in Malaysia has increased financial pressure, especially for low and middle income groups. For university students, financial knowledge is important because they need to manage their own expenses, such as tuition fees, accommodation, transportation, and daily living costs. Good financial management behavior includes budgeting, controlling spending, and saving money. Students who manage their finances effectively are better able to balance their financial responsibilities with their academic commitments. However, poor financial management can lead to debt and financial pressure. Previous studies show that students have higher financial stress, are more likely to experience poor financial behavior, which can negatively affect their academic performance, mental and physical health, and overall quality of life. Therefore, this study aims to examine the relationship between financial management behavior and financial pressure to better understand the factors that influence university students' financial well-being. So these are the purpose of us doing the report. Firstly is to identify the factors that lead to poor financial management among university students. Second is to determine the causes and effect of financial struggles among university students in campus Alor Gajah. And lastly is to provide recommendations towards financial struggles among students.
Next, I will explain the scope of our study. The first objective is to identify the factor contributing to poor financial management among university students in Malaysia. The second objective is to determine the causes and effects of financial struggle among students in UiTM campus Alor Gajah. Lastly, our studies aim to provide recommendations that can help students overcome financial challenges and improve their financial management. Now let's look at our method of investigation. For this study, we use a quantitative research approach. Primary data was collected through Google Form survey distributed to the respondents. These methods allow us to gather structured information directly from students. It also helps us identify patterns, trends, and relationship between different variables. Finally, the collected data can be analyzed statistically, providing reliable and first-hand information that support the objective of our studies.
Based on our research, there are three main factors, which are poor budgeting skills, overspending and debt, and a lack of income resource. The first one is poor budgeting skills. Budgeting is the process of planning how money will be spent over a certain period of time. It is one of the most important financial management skills because it helps individuals control their income, monitor their expense, and make sure they have enough money for both their daily needs and future savings. However, many university students do not prepare a proper budget or consistently follow one. Although they understand that saving money is important, they often spend without planning. As a result, they may purchase unnecessary items, spend more than they can afford, and end up with very little money before the end of the month. Poor budgeting also makes it difficult for students to build emergency savings. For example, if an unexpected expense occurs, such as buying textbooks or paying for transportation, they may struggle because they have not set aside any savings. Therefore, developing good budgeting habits allows students to manage their finance more effectively, reduce unnecessary spending, and achieve better long-term financial stability. The second factor is overspending and debt. Overspending happens when students spend more money than they earn or receive as their monthly allowance. To cover this extra expense, some students rely on debt, such as borrowing money from friends, family members, or using credit cards. There are several reasons why this happens. One of the main reasons is impulsive spending, where students buy things without thinking carefully about whether they really need them. For example, they may purchase the latest gadget, branding clothing, or expensive food simply because they want to follow current trends or because of attractive online promotions. Another reason is the easy access to credit cards and digital payment methods. These payment options may create a false sense of financial security because students feel like they still have money to spend, even though they are actually borrowing it. If they continue spending this way, they may face difficulties repaying their debts in the future. In addition, a lack of financial education also contributes to overspending because students may not fully understand how debt, interest charge, and financial planning work. This is why improving financial literacy is very important. When students understand how to manage their money wisely, they are more likely to make responsible financial decisions and avoid unnecessary debt. The final factor is a lack of income resource. Many university students depend mainly on financial support from their parents, scholarship, or monthly allowance. Unlike working adults, they usually have limited opportunities to earn a stable income while studying. When the amount of money they receive is insufficient or inconsistent, it becomes difficult to cover essential expenses such as the tuition fees, transportation fees, food accommodation, and study materials. Because of these financial limitations, students often focus only on meeting their immediate needs instead of saving money for emergencies or future goals. In some cases, they may even have to borrow money just to manage their daily expense. As a result, limited income resources make it more challenging for students to practice good financial management and achieve long-term financial stability.
Now, I would like to present the survey findings and analysis from our study. A total of 30 respondents participated in our survey. The purpose of this survey was to understand the financial struggles faced by university students and how these challenges affect their daily lives and studies. First, let's look at the sources of financial support. Based on our findings, 43.3% of the respondents received financial support from their parents, making it the highest source of financial support. This is followed by the PTPTN, which accounts for 33.3%, while 20% of respondents receive support from GPA. Only 3.3% depend on part-time jobs, and none of the respondents receive scholarships. These findings show that most students still rely heavily on their parents or education loans to support their studies and daily expenses. This also means that students may experience financial difficulties if their main source of financial support is limited. So next, let's look at the respondents' monthly spending. The survey shows that 40% of the respondents spend between RM 200 and RM 300 every month, which is the highest percentage. Meanwhile, 23.3% spend between RM 400 and RM 500. 60.7% spend between RM 100 and RM 200. And also 13.3% spend between RM 50 ringgit and 100 ringgit. And only 6.7% spend between RM 300 and RM 400. This tells us that most students spend a moderate amount of money every month on their daily needs such as food, transportation, study materials, and other personal expenses. Managing these expenses properly is important to avoid financial problems. Now, let's move to the main reasons for financial problems. According to the survey, the biggest reason is the highest cost of living, with 66.7% of respondents choosing these answers. The second highest reason is lack of savings at 63.3%. Other reasons include online shopping, which was selected by 46.7% of respondents, and limited financial support at 43.3%. The least common reason is fuel expenses, with only 16.7%. From these results, we can see that increasing living costs have become the biggest challenge for university students. At the same time, many students do not have enough savings to handle unexpected expenses, making their financial situation more difficult. Next, I will explain how students manage their finance. The survey shows that budget planning is the most popular method, chosen by 60% of respondents. This is followed by avoiding overspending with 53.3% and saving money with 50%. Besides that, 40% of respondents keep track of their daily expenses, while 26.7% work part-time to earn extra income. These findings suggest that many students are trying to manage their finances responsibly by planning their budgets, controlling unnecessary spending, and developing good saving habits. Finally, let's look at how financial issues affect students' studies. The results shows that 63.3% of respondents said financial problems sometimes distract them during their studies. Another 20% said they are rarely affected, while 10% answered often. Only 6.7% said financial issues never affect their studies. This shows that financial stress has an impact on many students. When students worry about money, it becomes more difficult for them to stay focused in class, complete assignments, and perform well academically. In conclusion, our survey shows that university students face financial challenges mainly because of the high cost of living and limited savings. However, many students are taking positive steps by planning their budgets, saving money, and avoiding unnecessary spending. Therefore, improving financial management skills and increasing financial awareness can help students reduce financial stress and achieve better academic performance.
Finally, I will conclude our study by summarizing the key findings and presenting several recommendations to improve financial management among university students. So based on our survey, we first look at the responder profile. The majority of our respondents were from BA111, which is represented 50% of the total respondent. This was followed by BA119 with 26.7%, BA132 with 60.7%, and BA141 with 6.7%. We also found that 73% of the respondents were female, while 26.7% were male. In addition, most of the respondents were diploma students, making up 93.3% of the sample. This shows that our findings mainly reflect the financial experience of diploma students, especially female students. And next, we analyze the source of financial support. The results show that parents are the main source of financial support for most students. And besides their parents, some students also receive financial assistance through PTPTN loans, scholarship, GPA, sponsorship, and part-time jobs. This suggests that many students still depend heavily on their families to cover their education and daily living expense. However, students who receive scholarship or have a part-time jobs may have more financial flexibility because they have additional source of income. Moving on to financial management. Most students rate their financial management skills as good to average. This means that many students are able to manage their money reasonably well, such as paying for their daily expense and controlling their spending. However, a smaller group of students report having a poor or very poor financial management. This indicates that although most students can manage their finance, there are still some who face financial difficulties and need additional supports. And now, let's look at the overall insight of our study. Overall, our finding shows that the most students receive financial support from their parents and generally manage their finance at a good or average level. And however, financial struggles still exist among some students, and these problems are mainly caused by limited financial knowledge, insufficient income, and difficulties in balancing their expense with the money they receive. For example, some students may spend too much of non-essential items, while others simply do not have enough income to cover increased living costs. Therefore, our students highlight the importance of improving financial literacy and providing better financial support to help students achieve better financial well-being. And now, I would like to present our recommendation. So, our first recommendation is to organize financial literacy programs. The university can organize workshops on topics such as budgeting, saving, debt management, and financial planning. So, through these programs, students can learn practical skills to manage their money wisely and make better financial decisions. So, our second recommendation is to encourage students to use digital financial tools. Budgeting application can help students record their expense, monitor their spending habit,
and control unnecessary spending. And these apps also make it easier for students to understand where their money goes and each month and plan their budget more effectively. And the third recommendation is to provide more part-time job opportunities on campus. Flexible campus jobs allow students to earn extra income without affecting their studies. As a result, students can reduce their dependence on their parents while gaining valuable work experience and improving their financial independence. Our fourth recommendation is to strengthen financial aid supports. The university and related organizations should expand scholarships, bursaries, and emergency financial assistance for students who are facing financial difficulties. And these supports can help reduce financial stress and allow students to focus more on their academic performance. And lastly, we recommend encourage students to practice financial goal setting, and students should set monthly saving targets, reduce unnecessary spending, and develop good financial habits. And even small saving every month can build financial discipline and prepare students for unexpected expense in the future. In conclusion, financial management is important life skill for every university student. Although most students in our study manage their finance reasonably well, and there are still challenges that need attention. And by improving financial knowledge, providing better financial support, and encourage responsible financial habits, students can achieve better financial stability and overall well-being. And that's all. Thank you. That is all from me and my group.
Guys, let's go buy some food. Let's go. Let's go.
I have money.
Yeah, let's go. Aish, why?
I don't have money.
It's okay, Aish.
Yeah.
Oh my God, where's my money?
It's okay, we can feed
We
you.
can feed you, Aish. It's okay. I have a lot of money. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, let's go.
Okay, let's go, guys. Oh my God. Aish. Aish. Why are you sad?
Actually, I don't have enough money.
Oh my God. We as a student, we should manage our money well. Do you know how?
I think you're right, but I don't know how to manage it.
We have to see our report. Husna, Aish, faster!